We're going to watch this thrilling movie in front of you, and I won't give you even a little intro so that your thrill isn't spoiled. Just the beginning of the movie. If we talk about Shal, she's married to a couple named Rye. Before this, she was married to a man named Antony, but he passed away a few years ago. Shal has a daughter from Antony who studies in a boarding school. After Antony's death, Shal was completely alone, so she got married to Roy for the second time. Besides, Roy has been divorced from his first wife, and he too has a second marriage with Shaili. That is, both of them, Roy is a second married businessman, but his business is not doing well. He orders goods from China and sells them in wholesale. However, the thing is that his business is not going well for the last few days. He's running this business with his partner Jitesh, who has invested half the money in this business. In the next scene, a man comes to Rai and tells him bad news: the goods they had ordered from China got stuck in the customs. They will have to pay some bribe, etc. Only then they will be able to bring the goods to India, and for this it will cost at least rupee lakh. Hearing this, Roy gets upset, thinking what kind of trouble has come, but what could he do? He could give 5 lakhs to that person. He gives it because he and Jitesh had invested all their money on the goods, which were worth about rupee crore, and if these goods don't come to India, Rai will suffer a huge loss because on his request Jitesh had invested Rs 15 crore. In the next scene, Shaili's father Thomas is calling her home because it has been a long time that he hasn't met Shaili and her family. Shaili also agrees because anyway, there's a lot of work pressure. If it was too much, then the mind will get an excuse to relax a little. But as soon as Jitesh comes to know that Rai is going to his in-laws' house with his family on vacation, he says that where you are going there's internet, etc. So it's not because there's going to be a great need of the goods. So when the goods arrive, we have to do online deals, etc. Every opinion says don't take tension. Our goods will arrive, and we will also make profit from it. It's a matter of 810 days. I will come back soon. After this, Rai and Shelley start preparing to go to Thomas's house, while Thomas also starts cleaning his village house so that his daughter and her family can live there comfortably. After which, Rai and Shelley go to the house at night. Both of them reach Thomas's house. Thomas is very happy to see them. Shaili tells, "Papa, don't worry. I will go to the boarding school soon and will bring Sophie." Hearing this, Thomas is very happy. Sophie's friends, her daughter is Shaili and Roy's daughter. Now Roy and Shelley are very happy after coming here because they have got relief from the pressure of work, so both of them spend time together very well. But then a news comes on TV, seeing which everyone gets very upset because in the news it's said that a lockdown has been imposed in the country because it's the time of corona. And also this is the first lockdown. Everyone is being advised that no one should go out of the house. Those who are wherever they are should stay out of the houses. On hearing this, strict restrictions have been imposed on going out. Roy becomes very worried that what new trouble has come. Now how will the goods come from China to India? Jitesh also starts harassing him by calling and saying, "My brother, 15 crore rupees are invested in it. If the goods are not received, then everything will be gone. There will be trouble." Brother says, "Why do you take tension in everything? There is a lockdown for a few days. Then everything will become normal. Be a little patient today. But we know, friends, the lockdown will not be for a few days, but will be for about 2 years, which means that now the problem of the goods is going to increase. The goods will be stuck in the customs, and who knows, by the time the lockdown ends, the goods may also get damaged." Roy also becomes more worried due to this, but does not tell his problems to Jitesh. On one hand, there's the problem of luggage, and on top of that, there's also Sophie's problem because she will not be able to come to her parents here. The boarding school teacher tells Shaili not to worry. Till this lockdown ends, we will take very good care of Sophie. Due to the lockdown, Rai Sarah remains troubled the whole day, Seeing her upset, Thomas asks Shirley the reason. Shirley tells the whole thing, that Jitesh is for money. He is troubling us again and again because he has invested about Rs 10 crores for the goods coming from China, but when Roy will not get the goods, then how will he sell them and arrange the money? Thomas is also surprised to hear that this is so. It's a big trouble for poor Roy. So what will happen? Now the next day Thomas says to Shaili and Roy, "Look, I have taken some money on loan from the bank. If I die, then this house which is in my name will be confiscated by the bank. So I was thinking that I will sell this house and all the surrounding land. At least I will get Rs 4-5 crores from it. Anyway, after my death, what will I do with all this? I will repay it, and as far as living is concerned, buy a small house for me in the city, because anyway I cannot manage such a big house. After doing this, that means after doing all this, rupee crores will be saved. You can keep that money so that Jitesh will not bother you any more." Thomas says, "No, no, why are you saying such things? This is not right. This is your hard-earned property. We can't take it like this." Thomas says, "I am old enough to know when God's call will come and after me. There is only Shelley in this world, so I can do this much to reduce her tension, and then even if I don't want to, Roy will have to say yes to this thing. Now a photo of the house is taken and it is put up for sale. After seeing the ad, a man likes the house, so he calls Thomas and says that he is a builder and wants to demolish your house and build a hotel there. That's why he is ready to buy the house at the price you have quoted for the house." Thomas is very happy, but is also worried. He explains the reason for his problem to Roy and says, "Look, son, if anyone buys this house, it will be demolished. We'll build a new one because this is an old house, but if this house gets broken, then the 12-year-old secret which I have kept hidden in my chest till date will come out in front." Roy asks, "What secret are you talking about, which if it comes out in front, if he comes then there will be trouble?" "What is the secret?" Thomas says that 12 years ago I had buried the dead body of a person in the kitchen of the house. Hearing this, the ground slips under Roy's feet. "What are you saying about the kitchen? There is a dead body below. Whose body could it be, and who might have killed it?" But Thomas says that Shirley should never know about this. If we have to sell this house, then we will have to take out the dead body and dispose of it so that this issue comes to light later. Roy goes into shock after knowing that he will not be able to come. He thinks all day that what kind of trouble has he got himself into. Locked down, the goods are not coming from above, and now he is worried about the dead body here. He doesn't feel like doing anything. This thing is becoming more disturbing, that whose dead body could it be and who might have killed it? Then, to reduce his restlessness, Roy finally asks Thomas whose dead body it is. Thomas reveals that it is a dead body, and it was not someone else's but Shirley's first husband, Antony, whom I had killed and buried under the kitchen. I couldn't believe how this could happen. The police had found Antony's body, which was identified by Shirley herself and Antony's mother. Thomas says that the body found by the police was that of someone else who had met with an accident. Due to the accident, his entire face was completely disfigured, but coincidentally, the same body was found on his body. There was a mark similar to the one on Antony's body. That is why Shirley and Antony's mother assumed that he was Antony. Yes, I was lucky that after listening to them, the police closed Antony's case, saying that he died in an accident. Shirley went away, and that's how I got saved, but Roy is absolutely still in shock. He asks Thomas, "Why did you do this and kill your daughter's husband?" What would be the reason for this? Thomas says that I don't have a reason to kill him. There were many reasons why you did not know Antony, and he was a very bad man. He married my daughter, but after marriage he would go away from Shirley for months so that he could live with other girls because his relationship after marriage. Not only this, he was also dating other girls, and he also used to torture my daughter, and anyway, I knew Antony's father, who was a very nice person, so I felt that Antony would also be like my Father, so I agreed to the relationship for the sake of my daughter, but I never thought that Antony would turn out to be such a bad person. Now Roy looks at the old photo album of the house and tries to extract Antony's photos and information from it so that he can find out. From there he gets the numbers and addresses of some acquaintances, etc. So Roy decides that now they will have to talk together. What is the reason for this? He thinks that if everything is as Thomas told, if something remains then it is fine, and if not then there was definitely some big reason behind it, i.e., behind the death of Antony. Now the next day the person comes to see the house who wants to buy Thomas's house. He likes the house and the entire surrounding area very much, and immediately he finalizes the deal, then Shirley gives a good news to Roy that we can bring Sophie home. Now I had requested the boarding school, so they have made a medical report, and with the help of that report I can bring Sophie home. Even during the lockdown, I can go to Sophie and bring her home because no one will stop us because of the medical report, and I will leave from here tomorrow itself to bring Sophie. Shirley is happy that her daughter is coming, but Roy is worried. In the next scene, Thomas's foot slips, and due to slipping, he gets badly injured. Shaili and Roy treat him with all the herbs in the house. Then alone, Roy says to Thomas, "Look, I will find some other way to manage the country's money, but I don't want to be a part of any crime. I am very scared of these things, so do one thing, don't send it to this house. It will cause tension to you too." Saying this, Roy goes away, but then Jitesh calls Roy and says that you have not returned my money yet. When will you return it? I am in a lot of tension. Give me my money. I have become a victim of depression. If I don't get the money within a week, I will first kill my wife and then take my own life. Roy gets worried that how will he be able to settle Rs 15 crore in a week? Despite not wanting to, he has to sell the house and Antony. He has to agree to dispose of Jitesh's body because he has no other option. Now after the deal of the house is finalized, as soon as he gets some advance money, he sends all the money to Jitesh. Jitesh finally gets satisfaction after receiving it, and he also apologizes to Roy that, "Look, just forgive me. I don't want to say anything else." Then Roy meets people who know Antony and finds out more details about him, but every person tells him good things about Antony. No, he just says that he was a very good person. He considered it his responsibility to help everyone, take care of everyone's happiness, etc. But then Roy gets worried that this has become a contradiction. On one side, people are saying that he is good, and on the other hand, Thomas is saying that he was a bad man, but one thing is that no one has said a bad word about him. So when Roy talks about this, he asks Thomas. Thomas says why wouldn't everyone praise Antony? Because he used to provide free liquor to all his acquaintances and even helped them a little, but no matter how good he was to others, why not? My daughter was not happy with him. She used to suffocate every day, but I don't know what kind of magic she had cast on my daughter that she never wanted to be separated from Antony. I had no intention of killing Antony at all. It was not clear. I am just saying that out of anger I hit him on the head with a table. He died due to this, so I buried his body in the kitchen. So somehow we will have to dispose of his body now. Just once, Shirley and Sophie. Then we will dispose of the body. Then at night Shirley leaves for boarding school so that she can bring Sophie home. As soon as she leaves, Thomas and Roy immediately dig up the kitchen floor and take out Antony's body from inside. Because only the skeleton is left, it is put in the furnace and burnt so that the name and trace of Antony are destroyed forever. After this, Shirley brings Sophie home, and Sophie is very happy when she comes. It is very relaxed at the end of the movie. In the scene, Shirley tells Roy that I heard Papa talking about Antony. His words refreshed my old memories. When I came to know about Antony's death, it was as if the ground had slipped from under my feet. At that time I was completely shocked, and I did not even look at the body carefully and on everyone's advice. I assumed that it was Antony, but now I wonder whether it could really have been Antony's body, so now I am very confused. My heart does not testify for this. I feel that perhaps that dead body was not Antony's, so I thought that to calm my heart I will get Antony's case reopened." Friends, after hearing this, Roy's face completely changed. He wakes up, he was shocked that if the case is opened again, Thomas will definitely go to jail, I will also go to jail for disposing of the dead body, but hence they leave the movie midway. Either there is no money beyond them, or they think that the audience's mind is very sharp. They will think on their own what was to happen next, or they